Okay, good morning, all of you. Today, our topic is relationships. So, in our textbook, it's chapter 5, relationships. So, I just told you about the brief things in basic building blocks. So, there we have learned things, relationships, and diagrams. So, under relationships, so what is a relationship? It's a connection among things. Okay, so if two things are there, two classes are there, two things are there, two use cases are there, so in order to give connection between two things, the thing can be anything from the basic building block. So in order to connect that, so we need a relationship. Okay, so for that, in order to relate, so we need relationships. So already, as we have studied, there are four kinds of relationships. And what are they? Anyone?
Dependency, generalization, association.
Hmm. Realization. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so those are the four things. So as I told you, each one, so mute yourself now. So as I told you, the basic things, so each chapter in detail we are going to study. So today our class is about, Suman, please mute yourself. So today our
Already
class is
muted.
okay. So today our class is about learning relationships in detail. So if you can just see the screen, the diagram here, so you just concentrate only on the diagrams. Okay, so not the content. So content you listen to me, just diagrams you concentrate on the screen. So you can just see the screen and concentrate on the mouse cursor what I am telling you. So here they have just given uh, generalized diagram where maximum relationships they wanted to show in this example. So this example is something where window class is there, and its operations are open, close, move, display, handle event. And there are another classes called event, control, dialog box, console window. So here if you see this diagram, whatever you are viewing, so since many classes you are able to see, so this diagram is called as class diagram. Okay, so different classes are collaborated using some relationships. So what relationship they may exist between two classes, so giving the relationship among the things. So our things here are nothing but classes, so we call it as class diagram. Okay, so here, and if you can observe, one class we are showing in detail, in elaborated way. Window, if you see window class, we are showing it in detail. Since we want to show its detail things in the graphical representation, that's why we are giving. So the other classes, if you see, we are just showing the simple form of a class. Simple form of a class. We are not showing any attributes or classes. So such things, just giving a rectangular box with name is also a class, simple class representation we can say. If three compartments are shown, it is a expanded form of a class. So here, the window class is depending on some event. Window class is depending on some event. So if this is not depending on this class, so this won't exist. So you know the dependency relationship, right? So if two things are there, so here two classes are there. So in general, I am saying if two things are there, if one is depending on the other, the change in one thing may affect the change in other thing. Then we give the dependency relationship. Okay. So here, that is what the relationship. So when we come to window class, so under window class there are two types. So when we can say categorization or types, varieties under any one basic building block, anything, then we give generalization. Okay, so here for window, how many types of windows we can talk here? Console window, dialog box window. Console window, dialog box window. So for a particular window, when we are talking about types, so then it becomes as generalization. So the window is the parent class, whereas console window is the child class, or dialog box is a child class. So how we have learned how to give the generalization symbol? So the arrow should point towards its parent. So when such relationship exists between two classes, then we are going to give generalization. Okay. So then moving on to the next one, dialog box and control. So dialog box and control, they are on the same cadre in the hierarchy. If you see, if you think about separately a dialog box and a control, okay. So in general, when you are doing something on your system, so dialog box and when controls are there, can you segregate them? Is there any dependency? Is there any parent-child relationship? Okay, so if you're not able to get, so the only remaining thing will be association. So that's how, after we identify the classes for the given exam scenario or example, so then we need to relate those. So how to relate? So each class you have to compare with the other one and check what kind of relationship exists. So that's how we are going to give the relationships. So these are the few things which are depicted where all the relationships are shown in one diagram. So we learn each one in detail once again. Okay. So the next, first thing, as I told you, every chapter here is divided into two parts. So terms and concepts, terminology and concepts. So the first one under terms and concepts. So relationships, I just told you that it's a connection between two things. And the first one under that we have dependency. So under dependency, we are learning some example here. So if you have a film clip and a channel, okay. So what film clip you want to view? It is going to depend on the channel. So channel people, they may broadcast their live channel. So whatever you want to view, so that exactly the program what you want to view, so that is depending on the channel. Okay, so that is what dependency. So here the class film clip, we are giving the name. So which name we want to give for that, and play on, and play on is going to depend on the channel. So it is going to play accordingly on what channel you are going to switch on. Okay, so then the relationships we can say is it is depending on. So that's what the dependency. And then moving on to generalization. So generalization, as I told you already, the parent-child relationship. Okay. So here the example of shape is given. I hope this example you might have studied in C, C++ and all, when where you have studied inheritance. Okay. So the shape class will be becoming the base class, and this rectangle, circle, polygon are the subclasses. Or under shape, what are the different types, varieties? So then I can say different shapes like rectangle, circle, polygon and all. So in such case, as I told you, when there is the division of one thing into types or classifications, then I can give generalization, parent-child relationships. So logically, programmatically, already you know all these things, but how to show it in graphical representation, I am emphasizing. So please concentrate in that way. Already you know the logical things of it. So here, when it is generalization, how we are able to show? So you have to use the generalization relationship. Okay, so rectangle is the subclass or the child class of shape. Circle is the child class of shape. Polygon is the subclass or child class of the shape. Main class or the parent class, I can say. So when it comes to rectangle again types we have square. So in a rectangle, if it's length and breadth, we say no, rectangle means, so breadth if they are equal to its length, so then we say it as a square. So now square is subclass, again subclass under rectangle class. So again that also subdivisions, again recursively also we can show. Okay, so if you see this hierarchy, so we are seeing parent-child relationship and generalization. So the one is at the top level, so that is called base class. So you can just follow the cursor. So base class we say, or parent class we say. Okay, so the class which is at the last level, so which is not again subdivided into another levels, so which is at last, so those things are called as leaf classes. And the symbols what we are giving as generalization. I hope this is very much clear, because the same thing you might have done for the programming subjects also. Maybe in C maximum, I think. So when we learned, they were telling the same example there. So that's how we can say about parent child relationship. So few more things under generalization. I can say generalization is a kind of relationship. Is a kind of relationship. And few more things you can just make a note of it. So if a class may have 0 or 1 or more parents. Okay, it may not have a parent, it may have one parent, it may have more parents. So based on this, we can categorize the different kinds of inheritance. So a class have no parent and one or more children, then that class is called as root class or base class. Again I repeat, a class has no parent and one or more children, then that class is called as root class or base class. So the next one, a class has no children. A class has no children. So the last two things, the class which doesn't have any children further in the hierarchy, then we call them as leaf nodes. Okay, a class that has exactly one parent. A class that has exactly one parent. So that one we call it as single inheritance. One parent, single inheritance. A class with more than one parent, then we call it as multiple inheritance. Maybe you might be knowing this terminology. So just as it's part of our chapter content today, so I just repeated. So here four things you have to remember. First thing, generalization is a kind of relationship, and a class has no parent or 0, 1 or more parents it may have. If 0 parent, then it is a base class. If 1 parent, then it is a single inheritance. If it have more than 1 parent, then it is multiple inheritance. Okay, so just make note of that. And the example what I just told, so it can be covered when you are explaining that. So the next relationship is about association. So association, I already was telling you the basic definition of this. When two things are in the same level means there is no prioritization or no parent-child relationship or no dependency among them. So then we can say the relationship of association we can give. It's a structural relationship that specifies the object of one thing are connected to the objects of another thing. When we are talking about two different classes, when two things are connected, so without any other prioritized things, so then we can give association. So when an association that connects exactly two classes. So if only two classes are there and those two classes are connected, then we can say binary association. Binary means to buy. So two classes. So binary association. When such things more than two classes, then we call it as n-ary. N-ary. N-ary association. Okay, and graphically how we represent association with a solid line. And this association part, it's important under relationships. Why? Because there are four adornments that apply to association. There are four adornments that apply to association. So what are adornments? In addition to already the connection what we are giving between two things or two classes is a solid line. But along with the solid line, what more we can give? In addition to the existing one is just a line what we have learned till now. But in addition to that, what more we can study? Okay, what are the other things? So those things are categorized into four again, four adornments. In addition to the link, there are four more things which are giving in addition along with the association line. Okay, so they are name, role, multiplicity, aggregation. Name, role, multiplicity, aggregation. So when we move on to the first one, name. So if you see this example here, so when two classes are there like person and company, person and company. So when association relationship we are giving, so that association can be more specific, saying that the person works for company. So the name given to that association, how the two classes of person and company are related. See, they are associated, okay, but what kind of association? I want uh, I want to give details more specifically. I want to give. So then I can give some name to it. What exactly? Who is working for whom? What is the job there? So something. What exactly it is working for? So this association is for what? What is the relationship between these two classes is more specifically given by name. So person works for company. So this works for can be said as a name given to association. And one more thing along with name, so direction also can be given. So when direction is given, if direction is not there, so you just see person works for company. And we can also say company works for person, which is wrong. So in that case, when you want to give a unidirectionally in only one direction, when you want to specify, then you can also give direction. So that means when direction is given, only person works for company. Okay, based on the direction. It won't be correct or associated in the company works for person. It's not at all related because it's not directed and we are not specifying that. Okay, so here in order to make specific what kind of relationship we are giving as association. So what kind of association in specific we can give through name and direction. So person works for company. So student and college, if you take, students study in college. So that's how we can say. Okay, so that is about the first adornment, name and direction. Name and direction. So moving on to the next one. So moving on to the next one. So the next adornment is role. See, along with the association, I want to specify the roles also. When person and company are there. So what is the role of a person? He is an employee. Employee working for company. And company is a employer giving employment for the persons. Company gives employment for the person or individuals. So maybe the relationship it's just like ER, so you might think of in the same way. So all these are very much familiar to you, but making very specific to UML language and graphical representation. So person is an employee who works for company, and company gives, who is an employee, gives employment to a person. So that's how we can give the role names. What is the exact role of a person in that company? What is the role of a company for the employees? So that's how we can specify by giving role names. So this is about the second adornment for association. And the third adornment is multiplicity. Multiplicity. So we call it as cardinality in DBMS. So here we say it as multiplicity. How many instances of one class can be associated with how many instances of another class? So that can be given by multiplicity. So here when I say person works for a company, person who is an employee works for the company as employer. So what multiplicity I can give? How many people can work for a company? Maybe if it is just a small scale, so it can be one or two. So minimum to maximum you can give the range. So one dot dot star means one or many. So one or many persons can work for company. So how we are giving the cardinality here as star? Star means many. Okay. So how we are giving here? So one person may not exactly work in one company. Say as a student, maybe you are studying in college. So after college or in your free times, based on your necessity, you may work in two or another three places. So exactly we cannot just say that one person works for one company only. So it depends on their requirement and their talent, how they do or manage themselves. So we are giving star here. So one or many persons who are employees can work for many companies. So that is what we say multiplicity. Okay. So this is the one what we call it as the multiplicity or cardinality in DBMS. So and this multiplicity we can say how many instances of one class can be associated with the how many instances of another class. So that can be given by multiplicity. And then moving on to aggregation. So aggregation is again a type of association. Aggregation is a type of association where when whole part relationship, when I say whole, so WHOLE, whole part relationship. So when we take college, so college will work as a whole, as a complete one, as one entity. Okay, so that we call it as whole, entire organization. But in that, what are the sub things? So we have admin, different departments. So what we can say, so the main whole organization we call it as a whole, and what are the departments we have, we call them as parts. So aggregation definition we can say as aggregation is whole part relationships. So the entire organization and its parts, subparts, whole and its parts relationship we call it as aggregation. And aggregation we can give solid line with a diamond symbol pointing to the whole. Okay. So here the same example as I just told you. So company and here departments. A company, a big large scale industry, you can say it as a company, and which works like a whole part. And in that there may be any number of departments. Okay. So department is part of whole. So if the same example, if we can relate in place of company, if it is a college and department, say MCA department. So MCA department belongs to this college. So likewise, there are many departments which are sub parts of this college. So without these departments, this college doesn't exist. So such prioritized parts of whole can be given by using aggregation. And this diamond symbol should point towards parent. And not only that, we can also give cardinalities. We can also give cardinalities. So many departments can belong to one company. Many departments can belong to one college. Okay. So similarly, as our college PG, we have 5 departments. So 5 departments belonging to one. Okay. So that's how we can say about aggregation. It is a whole part relationship, and it is a has a relationship, whereas association, sorry, whereas generalization is a kind of relationship. Is a means parent child relationship, and aggregation is has a relationship. Okay. So that there singular, here plural we can say has a relationship. So many departments will be there. Okay. So that is about the relationships under terms and concepts. So the different relationships what we studied about dependency, and we studied about generalization. In generalization, what details we studied? Different kinds of inheritance, that is a single, multiple inheritance, base class, subclasses or leaf classes we have learnt. And then next we learnt about association, where association it have four adornments to it. So they are name and direction, first one, and second one is role, third one is multiplicity, and fourth one is aggregation. Okay, so aggregation is a type of association only. Okay, and it's a whole part relationship, has a kind of relationship. So after that we have other features. So similarly, as we learnt about chapter, classes chapter, so there other features means I told you what are all the surroundings of that particular thing, classes. So there we studied about a class. So previous things of class, after that, and where they are related and all we learned about advanced classes and all. So here similarly, when we come to relationships, so what are the other things we can talk about relationship? A part of general semantics of relationship, we need to visualize or specify the other features such as composite aggregation, navigation, so and other special kind of dependencies. So such things. So here it can be said as links and transitions. So what are links and transitions? I'll just tell you. Link is nothing but the relationship or the connection, the association, whatever you give between two objects. Objects are instances of classes. So that objects, when they are connected using an association, at that time we don't write it as association, we say it as link. Okay, please remember this point. Two objects are connected using a link, L-I-N-K, link. Okay, and the other one here is transition. So when we say transition, when two different states, so state already I told you at one point of time what exactly is the state of a process or any state of a system, ideal state, running state. So when such states, how do we represent in UML? Rounded rectangle. When two such states are existing, so how those two states can be connected? Maybe association only, but we don't call it as an association, we say transition. So based on the things what you are connecting, so that terminology will change. Okay, when two class objects are connected, then we call it as a link. When two state machines are connected, then we call it as a transition. Okay, so these are the other features under relationships. So this is the first part of today's topic, and the second part, it is about common modeling techniques. So these are all the terminologies what we have learned. So using this terminology, so taking some examples, we are going to relate them. Okay, so if you can understand terminology and when some examples are related, how to draw the diagrams, how to identify classes. Classes already I told you how to get, and relationships today we have just covered. So if any two things are depending on one another, or if there is a change in one thing and the change affects the other thing also, then we give dependency. If parent-child relationship, inheritance relationship, we give generalization. If they are just associated, so we can give association. And based on association also, you can give many adornments. So the same terminology with the concepts and terms what we have studied. So we'll quickly move on to common modeling techniques. Okay. So to model, first one, common modeling techniques. First one, here we have three. So modeling simple dependencies, modeling single inheritance, modeling structural relationships. So three things we have here. So the first one, modeling simple dependencies. So if you take the example of, so here some example is given, a set of classes drawn from the system that manages the assignment of students and the instructor to the course in a university. So the example is student and instructor to courses in a university. So that means if you just see that example, so what are the classes you can identify there? First, entities, classes. So we can say, since they are saying about students, instructors and university, so students, what they are going to study through the instructors. So what exactly they need? So system that manages the assignment of students and instructor to the course. So here course, first we are going to take it as a schedule. So based on the course only, the students or the faculty will be depending on. See, if MCA course, so then only the students who are related to that course will, students or lecturers will be coming into the picture. So first it has to be the course. Okay. So then if course is existing, then it's course schedule. So different courses will start at different times. So the course schedule. So the course can be added or removed. Okay, since the example here they are specifying that manages the assignment of students and instructor to courses. So specifically they are specifying two courses. So that's why we are just elaborating the course schedule class. Okay, and then here iterator is something like the instructors only. Instructors. Okay, faculty. So faculty are depending on the course schedule. Is it not so? If the classes or almanacs, if it is not scheduled, so accordingly we have to follow. If it is not scheduled, we cannot start according to our own wish. So that's why an instructor or iterator is depending on the course schedule. So how you have friend functions in C++. So similarly here, for a dependency, we can give a stereotype as friend. So these things we'll be studying in detail in advanced relationships. See, relationships we studied in basic building blocks. Today we are learning about relationships. And one more chapter we have again advanced relationships. So the different flavors of dependency we are going to study. Okay, here it may be friend or a bind, or based on how, what kind of dependency exists between these two classes can be given by using stereotype. Okay, so and here course schedule is going to depend on the course. So that's how we can simply model the simple dependencies. So in order to model what exactly we have to see, create a dependency points from the class with the operation to the class used as a parameter in the operation. So everything is based on the scenario given. So for our practicals, so case studies will be given. So thoroughly you have to analyze, pick up the entities which are classes here for UML, and among that you have to name them specifically. So what exactly that class means. So the name should be appropriate one. So if any of the properties are given, so then you can make them as attributes. And if any actions, what exactly it's doing, you can name them as operations. And once all the classes are done by giving name, attributes and operations, then you need to relate to one another by using relationships based on the kind of relationship exists between among them. Okay, so this is the first common modeling technique, modeling simple dependencies. So moving on to the next one, modeling single inheritance. So first we need to identify what are the set of the classes given in the particular scenario, attributes, operations and all, how many classes and all. So, and if needed, the responsibilities, and then we have to relate them. So here the heading is modeling single inheritance. So modeling single inheritance means one child will have only one parent. A child will have only one parent. Every child in the example will have only one parent. So when we were learning about terms and concepts, the example of shape and different shapes we learnt. Here the example of the relationship among 4 classes they have given, they haven't specified. Okay, example is trading application. So in a trading application, they have identified with 4 classes: cash account, stock, bond, property, and security. So likewise, so some classes are identified, and those classes are given using modeling single inheritance. So here, based on all the classes identified, so in trading, so the security is the first priority. So that's why I'm telling you, for any example, based on the scenario, based on their emphasis, based on their focus, so the UML diagram will be keep changing to the specific problem. So security and its operations, what are related to that scenario, and the cash account, stock, bond, and property. So all these are the subclasses under security. The security can be given for the different types. The different types of security are segregated in the level 1. Okay, so if I can say, so this is as level 0, so level 1. So since these are the types, so all the classes which are there in the second level are the types of the first level. So then we can give generalization. So here, coming to the first level, so the stock again can be divided into 2 types: small cap stock, large cap stock. So such things can be again said as generalization. Why? Because these are the types. So this is a subclass and this becomes a main class. So in that scenario, again we can give using generalization. Okay. So then moving on to modeling structural relationships. So in order to model structural relationships, so what are the things first we need to learn? So it's all from the terms and concepts what we have learned. So quickly we just see each one. So for each pair of classes, we need to navigate from objects to objects and specify if any association is there. And then the pair of classes, if objects of one class to need to interact with the other class, then the other than as parameters as an operation, and specify the association between them. And then for this association, specify the multiplicities. So this is based on all the adornments for a association. So for association, what all we have? Name, direction, role, multiplicity, and one more type of association is aggregation. So all these properties can be applied for the scenario. So that is how we model the structural relationship. So the example here they have given us information system for a school. So information for a system for a school. So you can identify the different entities what are all there in the information system for a school. So first school as a whole at the top level, then we can say as the departments. So the department exists based on the courses, and instructors or faculty to teach that course. Not only just course and instructors exist, but also students should exist in a school or a college to study that course. Okay, so that's how we identify the different classes in the given scenario. So once they are done, we need to relate them. So if you take the prioritized one, so first one, it is the school as a whole, and its parts are nothing but department and students. So a school doesn't exist without departments and without students. So that's why we say students and department as parts and school as a whole. So whole part relationship. When whole part relationship exists, we give it as aggregation. And what is the aggregation symbol? So just a solid line with diamond pointing to the whole part. So if we just see this, a school and student. So student is the part of a whole. So that's why we are giving aggregation. And not only that, we can give the, so it is the association only, no? So aggregation is a type of association. So all the adornments, whatever we are giving for the association can be given for aggregation too. So here we can give name to this aggregation. So student is a member of school and also the direction. Student, member of school. And when we come to cardinalities here, many students can be members of one or many schools. Maybe certificate wise you may be part of one college or one school, but after college and all, without any certification condition, if it is we are talking about, then you may go to any number of schools for learning, maybe any course or any tuition, anything. So that's why we are giving as one to many here. Okay, so this is the relationship between school and student. So the other part, if we take department and school. So as a whole, the school exists and its parts are department and students. So student we gave the general aggregation, but whereas for the department, if you see this one, the solid diamond, then it is called as navigation. Navigation. So when we call it as a navigation, among the subparts of the whole, if any prioritized thing we want to show. So among here for the school, these are the two parts. So in these two parts, which is having more importance? So the department. First, if department exists and good faculty are there, then only students will join. So that's why that emphasis can be showed as navigation. So if at all we make it as bold, the aggregation pointing diamond, if it is thick and bold, so then it is aggregation. Okay, so that's how subpart and whole we can say it as between the department and school. So since the departments are more prioritized among all its subparts of a school, so that's why we are making it as bold, called as navigation. And also we can give the name for this. So department has school. So here why has is given here? So as I told you, generalization is a kind of relationship, whereas aggregation is has a kind of relationship. So in that perspective, they have given has here. Okay, department is part of school. Okay, and cardinality is also. One department may be a part of school if it is a small school or primary school. They are started with the initial education system, or else if it is very old and it might have many departments. So in that case, one or many departments may belong to one school, one college, we can say. Okay, so that is the relationship among the first three classes. So their whole part relationships and their prioritizing as navigation, and also the names, and also the cardinalities among them. So quickly, if we just move on to the next one, department and course. Department and course also can be given association. So most of the diagrams among relationships we use association only. Okay, so if you have any confusion whether to use dependency or generalization, in that case, if any confusion is there, what kind of relationship, or most of the time it will be association only. So course and department, how they are associated. So that's why we are giving association symbol. And cardinality, if you see, one or many courses can have one or many departments. One or many departments. Say suppose if I take MCA department, so MCA department can teach for many courses. Okay, so and many courses may belong to many departments also, means how it is. So your subject may be other students are also studying and all. Okay, so that's how we can say. And here when we move on to the next one, student and course. So what exactly the student is doing in this association? Student attends course. So that's why we are giving specific name as attends. Name for this association is attends. and also the direction. So students only will attend course, and many students can attend many courses. So when many students are attending one or many schools, so similarly many students can attend many courses. Maybe college one course or may outside one course. Okay. So similarly, the next two classes we have instructor. So it's a faculty, instructor and course. So when they are related, associated, so instructor teaches a course and the direction also we are giving. And one or many instructors teaches one course. Maybe if it is our MCA course only from MCA department we are not teaching. There may be other staff who are there from other departments like English or MBA and all, they are teaching you. So that's why we are saying as one or many instructors teaches many courses. Okay, one instructor. So say suppose if example as an instructor I teach to MCA course, I teach to MSc course, I teach to MBA course. Okay, the computer subjects. So that's how we can say one or many instructors teaches many courses. You can just concentrate on the cardinalities there. Okay. So the next last one, the associations between instructor and department. Instructor and department. In department, if you take department as a whole, who are the parts? Department members. Okay, if MCA department, the faculty under MCA department will become the parts. So like that, so we are giving the first relationship. So taking department as a whole and instructors as parts. So whole part relationship we show it as aggregation. Okay, and instructors are assigned to department. So every instructor is assigned specific to a department. Later they may teach to any other department, but each one when they are appointed, they are specific to assigned to a particular department. And one or many instructors may be assigned to one or many departments. Say suppose something like English, the general things. Okay, so they may be assigned to many departments. So one or many instructors are assigned to one or many departments. So this is the first relationship among instructor and department. So moving on to the next relationship between instructor and department. So among all the department members, there will be a HOD. So here they are saying as chairperson. HOD, chairperson, it's the same. So here chairperson is 0 or 1. So instructors 0 or 1 will be the chairperson for 0 or 1 department. So if there are no instructors, there is no department, 0 cardinality if you say. If there is one person in one department, so there will be the head. So if many are there, among many, only one. There may be a HOD or not. So 0 or 1 means if HOD is not there, only one single individual is there, no HOD. So then we can say it as 0 chairperson. If many are there, so then among them one will be the HOD. So 0 or 1 chairpersons may exist for a department. 0 or 1 department. So that's how we can give the structural relationship for the information system of a school. Okay. So these are the things what I wanted to cover in today's class. So again I'll just give the brief things what we have studied. So we learnt about relationships, and under relationships the first part is terms and concepts. So under terms and concepts, dependency, generalization, under generalization the different types of inheritance, and under association different adornments like name, link, name and link is the first one, and then role, multiplicity and aggregation, and then other features, and under the first part, terms and concepts. Moving on to the second part, common modeling techniques, we learnt about modeling simple dependencies, and then modeling simple single inheritance, and modeling structural relationships. Okay, so this is for today.